I think one of the best things about Mowgli is, it's pretty cool to be a wolf brother, I guess. But
I've never seen a man cub before. It's so small.
I mean, Mowgli is just a really great character from his perseverance and everything. That's actually one thing that I try to incorporate into my own life, because he is really this kid who's kind of struggling to survive in the jungle, and it's just amazing because he just pushes past all the challenges that he has, and I think that's a great trait about him.
Kira, why am I different?
You are special, little brother.
You've got hands, so let's use them. Jump!
I had to learn to run like a wolf, and I had to really experience life down here on all fours rather than, on 2 feet like a human. But I mean, that was pretty challenging. I did have to do a lot of wind sprints, push-ups, pull-ups, a lot of physical training, and also a lot of agility training as well. But we experimented with parkour, but parkour felt a little bit too human. So for Mowgli, we decided, because he obviously has had no human interaction, and Mowgli kind of, we really decided to make it a bit more scrappy with his movements and everything. But, he does move like a wolf, and I also did a lot of research to how wolves move, and how they interact with each other, and I had to really incorporate that into Mowgli. So.
Out my way! I shouldn't let them pick on me like that. Wolves are supposed to be with other wolves.
He's not a wolf.
We'd cast all of the other animals, and I wasn't intending to play Baloo at all. Actually, I wasn't intending to be in it because I knew I'd have my hands full directing. And then sort of the producers were all staring at me, sort of saying, "Andy, it seems a bit crazy that you're doing a performance capture movie and you're not going to be in it." And I sort of went, yeah, perhaps maybe I should. And but then I had a real take on. Then I decided, look, I have a real strong take on how I wanted Baloo to be played, if it was going to be played by someone else, or if I was to play it. Which was that he is this. In the book, he's very much the teacher, the survivalist. He's like the Bear Grylls of the time. He teaches the kids how to survive. But he's like a sort of he's like a gym instructor. He's like a really tough gym instructor / drill sergeant who puts them through their paces and really wants them to survive. That's all his job is to teach the cubs to survive. And he does have affection for Mowgli, but he's not overt with his he doesn't show it too much. In fact, going back to Kipling, I based him very much on some of Kipling's poems about the military, about soldiers, about like they were called the Barrack Room Ballads, and I wanted to kind of incorporate some of that into Baloo.
You will always be my son, Mowgli. Nothing can ever change that.
One of the first things he told me was, "Rohan, I'll be there to guide you, but ultimately the authorship of the role is with the actor." And that was really amazing because he's giving you kind of that freedom to explore the character on your own while being there to guide you and to push you through the character and really just helping you to get into that mind of the character and just bringing that character to life. With Andy, I mean, we did form a pretty close relationship, and we were very comfortable. He made me very comfortable. Also, that's one thing that was really great about him. He is just such a great collaborator. He really makes the environment very comfortable, and he also brings out the best in everyone and brings everyone together, and I think that was just a fantastic trait about him.
The jungle is changing.
Well, in essence, the character, even though he's a wolf, the character is a father, and I'm a father. I've got 4 kids, so what I brought to it was the feeling of love and worry and powerlessness and exhaustion that comes with being a father. I read the script. I knew that it was a much more emotive, a darker, more of a emotional roller coaster ride of a film than the Disney version, which appealed to me. I thought that the central themes of the film about belonging and environmental struggles and the idea of identity was something that would appeal to children and that would be that children would identify with. So I decided that with the combination of Andy directing would be a good project.
We're afraid of what man might do to us. The pack needs you, Mowgli.
One of the things that we I had to really consider when taking this job on was, what does Kipling mean in the world today, and how is he viewed? I mean, obviously he was an incredibly popular writer of his time, the most beloved author of his generation. But of course, he was a child of the British Empire, and he had colonialist attitudes, and we embrace that in the storytelling of this film, because one of the characters, the hunter character in this movie, which is actually written as an Indian character, we made as a white hunter, and it was really to bring in that sense of understanding India's place in colonialism and two things really. That we see how the jungle is being encroached by man, which is also representational of imperialist England. But also he is a white hunter, kind of collecting and trophyizing jungle animals. And then also really looking at Rudyard Kipling as a child and growing up in India, because it's very complex. Like the rest of this story, it's all about dual identity. It's all about finding where you belong. And Kipling was brought up in India, and Hindi was his first language, so he spoke that was he considered his first language, and it was his home. And then he was sent away to England when he was about 7 or 8 years old, and had a terribly brutal upbringing in a boarding house here. And actually yearned for this sense of home. So he's a very complicated, complex man, and also what he stands for and how he's viewed now.
My, how you've grown.
I think one of the most fun parts is probably getting to work with, Christian and all the main cast. It was just really amazing to be, even just face to face with them and being able to learn from them, and how much work they just put into their characters is just really amazing. And we've had some fun moments on set as well. I remember there in South Africa, we were actually we weren't working with the animals. We weren't working with monkeys, but there were monkeys on set. They just came to visit the set, and they started stealing props and everything, and they started shouting during some emotional scenes, and that was pretty fun, actually.
I am not a man, but neither am I a wolf. Which of you will follow me?
So, I mean, I'd love to be in a Star Wars movie. That's kind of like my dream. I mean, obviously I did get to work across from Supreme Leader Snoke, which is really awesome. But I mean, yeah, that's probably my dream. So.